raise your hand if you want to get in the conversation. And we start with first in the nation opportunity to speak to Michael Graham in snow-dappled New Hampshire. Michael, welcome in.
So the news of the Pentagon is they've put out bids for pizza to bring it in-house, Mark Halperin. They now serve the best $7,000 pizzas in America. Absolutely delicious. Don't want to miss those.
But that double pepperoni, though.
Exactly right. So I have a big picture question for you guys. You're talking about Gavin Newsom. Has there ever been a candidate for president who has as bad a record as a governor as Gavin Newsom? I mean, hey, love him, hate him. It's just they're ranked like 49th-ish and like everything. So that's one side. This glamorous guy.
All right, let us answer.
Well, let me go. I want to tie it to another.
Okay.
I'll flip it over. So there's the guy, good-looking guy. People like him, crappy record. Then flip it over to Trump. We just did a New Hampshire Journal poll about ICE, and they're trying to build a facility up here. 2/3 of the voters hate the idea of bringing ICE. But you ask them about immigration, a majority support deporting all illegals. A majority think blue states are doing it wrong, red states are doing it right. You look at the issues, and they're with Trump, but they hate Trump so much that 600 people packed a room over the weekend to see Pete Buttigieg give a snoozer of a speech. And their message wasn't, I like Buttigieg. It was not protest. It was, we hate Donald Trump. So the question is, in 2026 and then 2028, does the message, does the record, do the facts on the ground even matter? Or is it all personality driven, Trump driven, people, not policies, etc.? And if so, I'm really bummed out because I like politics for the stuff you do, not for the people. That's my question.
Jaime Moore.
Yeah, look, I think you're right. Also, I didn't realize that Pete Buttigieg was in New Hampshire.
Trust me, most new people in New Hampshire did not either. Yeah, they did absolutely. By the way, quickly back to Gavin. He sold out the Portsmouth Music Hall for his upcoming book thing, $48 a pop, and it sold out like in 2 days. It's like a Springsteen concert.
I think Gavin's going to do well in New Hampshire, but I don't live there, so I don't want to divert there. But look, I think you're right. I mean, I think we talked about this. I think most Americans, and Hogan's going to double down on it in just a second. Most Americans do want to see something like the president's done, aside from the ICE killings in Minnesota, aside from the big raids. They want to see something happen on immigration. And I think what Joe Biden could not, and you guys know I love Joe Biden, what he could not articulate was he did not do well on the border. And that's just a fact. And so I think people are having a reaction to that. And I think President Trump and the Republicans ran on that very smartly in 2024. And most American people want to see something happen. I think what's happened over the course of the last couple months is 2 people dying, 3 or 4 people shot. It's just sort of taken out the president's initial vision for mass deportation has been sullied.
But Jaime, my question is bigger than that. Will it even matter? I mean, will issues, if Gavin Newsom can run as a leading candidate for president, running the crappiest state in the country, and Trump can have the best policies, and he's at 32% in our latest poll here in New Hampshire, then what difference do policies make? Does anyone care anymore?
No, I think people still care. Well, look, I don't think California is 49 on every. I'm in my wonderful state of Louisiana, which I love Louisiana.
But
too. Come on. I mean, public education is just not good, and they have not invested in it. And so California has done a lot of good things. I mean, the 5th largest economy in the entire world. Let's just be reminded of that. And so there's no other governor in this country that has been able to say, I've run the 5th largest economy in the entire world. So I think Gavin Newsom does have some credence in how he's governed California. So it's not all bad. But to your point, I do think you're right. I think it's about feelings. I think people used to really love Donald Trump when he ran in the first time, and they loved him again when he ran again. And that's waning a little bit. And so I think for a Democrat like Gavin Newsom, what he's trying to do is endear people out, aside from his policies, aside from sort of some of these technical things that we look at. He wants people to like him and want him to be president. So I think you're right. I think policies do matter a little bit less, but they still matter.
Hogan.
Yeah, great question. But I will say what I tell my mother, Michael, all the time is that she says, he's the worst governor. He's done so many horrible things. Just because it's the 5th largest economy, he's done so badly with it. What does that matter? But still, people there like it. And there's a large swath of the country who likes Gavin Newsom and the socialist policies. The failures don't matter to them for a whole host of reasons, in large part because, as I've also said on the show before, a lot of this is a reflective reaction of Trump. It's like when you go to the doctor and you get the little hammer on your knee and you hit it, and your knee goes like this. It's like, Trump, I hate it. Trump, I hate it. doesn't matter if Democrats were for it just not too long ago. I love the videos surfacing of Chuck Schumer and Hillary Clinton talking about deportations and Social Security IDs. You have to
I
have
remember when Democrats loved
family American
tariffs.
people
Tariffs.
to
They used to
vote.
love tariffs.
Yeah, Kamala Harris said these machines can be hacked at every turn. This is ridiculous. All of these things, they don't like it because it's Trump. Fine. But if I'm Trump, I'm leaning into that in the midterms to say something similar to what he said the last couple times he ran, which is, you may not like me, fine, but my policies have made your life better. And here's how, and here's why we're going to continue to make them even better. That to me, don't try, like Mitt Romney tried to pretend he wasn't rich. He had a dancing dressage horse named Rafalka, car elevators in multiple states. And he tried to pretend like he was just shooting varmints. Like he made no sense. Trump was like, I'm rich.
I have to correct the
I want you to be rich.
No.
I have to correct the record. Mitt Romney had one quote unquote car elevator, one. And it was not a car elevator. He was on he needed more parking in his house in Coronado. And it wasn't an elevator. It was like what you see in a parking lot. It wasn't an elevator. It just elevated the cars so you could park two cars in one garage.
And by the way, the thing on top of I was in Mass when he was governor. The thing on top of the car was not a dog holder. It was a throne. The dog was actually a throne on top.
Michael, all right, ladies and gentlemen.
He just showed the best point in politics. When you're explaining, you're losing.
Well, I know, but you're being unfair.
No.
Michael.
Yes.
As you know, one of the goals of two-way is eventually to have every member of our community be able to be given the new media seat at the White House Daily Briefing to be asked the first question of Caroline Leavitt. Not every member of the community has done it yet, but two have. I've done it, and now last week Michael did it. You can go see it online. But congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. I couldn't have done it without you.
Right.
Thank you.
Michael, thank you.
They say that something that's easy is like a walk in the park. Well, easier than a walk in the park, hit the subscribe button, be part of the two-way community, never miss an episode, be part of our conversations. Thank you for your service to America.
And don't forget, you can now listen to the morning meeting and two-way tonight on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.